Have you ever pondered the essence of living a fulfilling and independent life as you age? It's a question that lingers in the minds of many, particularly as we approach our later years. Imagine if I told you that the choices you make regarding where and how to live could significantly influence not only your happiness and peace of mind but also your physical health and overall well-being. It transcends mere proximity. It's about making decisions that empower you to nurture your independence, uphold your dignity, and continue embracing life. A meaningful and enriched life as you age involves making significant decisions about your living situation, whether that means staying with family, moving into a senior community, or living independently. This choice is not always straightforward. It encompasses more than just your physical location. It's about how your environment can foster your autonomy, happiness, and health as time progresses. In this video, we will explore the key factors that influence these decisions. You will hear personal stories from those who have confronted these choices directly, along with expert guidance on how to sustain your well-being. As you navigate through the various stages of life, achieving physical, emotional, and financial stability becomes increasingly vital. These insights will underscore the importance of maintaining control over your living environment, ensuring a vibrant and stress-free existence regardless of your age. We will delve into the essence of independence in your later years, examining its significance and manifestation. Additionally, we will discuss practical measures to enhance the safety and accessibility of your home, allowing you to prioritize comfort without compromising on security. Striking the right balance with family will also be a key focus. Solitude and community are essential for thriving in your golden years. As we age, it's not just about surviving, it's about thriving in the best way possible. This video will provide you with the tools needed to navigate these choices with confidence. By the end, you'll walk away with both the knowledge and the inspiration to make informed decisions about where and how to live in your later years. You'll learn how to embrace the freedom of independence while safeguarding your health, happiness, and future, whether you're already making plans or just starting to think about it. As you contemplate this decision, you'll discover insightful tips and genuine stories that may transform your perspective on aging. This guide offers invaluable wisdom on embracing aging with grace and independence. If you haven't done so yet, I invite you to subscribe and activate the notification bell to stay updated on our forthcoming videos. Your support enables me to continue providing meaningful content. If you found this video enjoyable, please like and share it with friends who might gain from these essential lessons. If you enjoy the topic of this video, please leave a comment with a 1 below. If it doesn't resonate with you, feel free to comment 0 so I can understand how to enhance my content for you. Now, let's dive into the first story, living with your children. My parents, like many others, always dreamed of living with one of us as they aged. They had 2 children and for years believed that family unity was the best way to approach their golden years. My younger brother, in particular, embraced this vision when making his life choices. He even considered how well his potential wife would mesh with our parents, convinced that marrying someone who could integrate smoothly into our family dynamic would allow us all to coexist harmoniously under one roof. I observed my brother navigate several relationships, each concluding due to our parents' disapproval. Their reasons varied from a perceived lack of tradition to worries about domestic skills. By the time my brother reached 30, he had married a woman who ultimately fulfilled all of our parents' expectations. Everyone believed this would be the ideal pairing, and for a time, it appeared that way. The initial impressions were encouraging, and there was hope that life together would be seamless and uncomplicated. However, the truth of cohabitation quickly revealed itself to be more intricate than anticipated. As time passed, tensions emerged, especially stemming from the generational gaps between my parents and my brother's new family. My parents, who had always cherished the tradition of daily family meals, found it. It was crucial for everyone to gather at the table, yet my brother and his wife, both heavily focused on their careers and social engagements, struggled to uphold this tradition. This disconnect fostered growing resentment on both sides. My parents felt disrespected and overlooked, while my brother and his wife grew increasingly frustrated by what they perceived as antiquated expectations. The tension escalated further after my sister-in-law gave birth, leaving my mother, who was firmly anchored in traditional practices, feeling at a loss. There were tensions with my sister-in-law, who favored contemporary, science-driven approaches to parenting. This divergence only intensified the divide between them, leading to a household rife with unspoken conflicts. As matters escalated, my brother found himself in a precarious position, attempting to mediate between his wife and our parents. It was a daunting challenge, and the mounting frustration eventually erupted into passionate disputes. In the end, my brother and his wife made the decision to relocate, shattering the vision of a peaceful multigenerational home. Shattered. While not all families experience such intense conflict, this narrative underscores how cohabitation can occasionally result in misunderstandings, particularly when generational differences are involved. For some, the expectations of living together can impose undue stress on relationships, revealing that closeness doesn't always enhance familial ties. Conversely, there are families like the Davis family, where multigenerational living has been a wellspring of joy and comfort. Consider Bill and his wife Mary, for instance. They residing with 18 children and grandchildren in a close-knit family community just outside Chicago, they enjoy the balance of separate kitchens for independence while coming together each evening for shared meals, stories, and laughter. For Bill and Mary, the greatest joy of this arrangement is the peace of mind that comes from daily interactions with their family, providing guidance and support. The home is perpetually lively, echoing with voices and radiating warmth from the togetherness, even extending to the wider family. Members who reside at a distance regard Bill and Mary's home as their genuine sanctuary, a space to rejuvenate after long, tiring workdays. The Davis family convenes weekly, sharing updates, stories, and discussing significant matters. This dedication to connection has fortified their family bond across generations. Bill feels that the emotional benefits of living alongside his children and grandchildren are beyond measure. For him, the chance to provide guidance, be there for family milestones, and relish the presence of his loved ones daily is invaluable. Many elderly parents, such as Bill and Mary, yearn to reside with their children, especially as their health deteriorates and their social circles naturally diminish. The fear of loneliness in later years is a genuine concern. However, for some, cohabiting with their children may not be the best option. Not all elderly individuals desire to share a home with their children, particularly if there is a deficit of true affection or understanding. Some seniors opt to live in close proximity, preserving their independence while still feeling connected. Maintaining proximity for frequent visits and support can significantly lessen the chances of intergenerational conflict while ensuring that both parents and children receive the essential connection and assistance they require. This setup enables elderly parents to relish the company of their family without the stress of cohabitation full-time. For many, achieving this equilibrium is crucial for flourishing as they age. If you are still engaged with this content and find these insights valuable, please comment one below to indicate your interest. Remaining by my side until the very end, the decision regarding where to reside in your later years is profoundly individual. It is not a universal solution. What suits one individual may not be appropriate for another. The key is that the choice is influenced by what fosters tranquility, happiness, and satisfaction. There is no definitive method to age gracefully. What truly counts is establishing a living environment that supports autonomy, maintains dignity, and promotes wellness, whether that means living with your children, maintaining independence, or joining a senior community. That suits you. The key is to make the choice that aligns with your values and enhances your life. Second story, finding comfort in independence. Elvira and her husband Dave raised 2 children, and like many parents, they imagined that as they grew older, they would live with one of their children. However, when the time came, Elvira and Dave made a surprising decision that went against the expectations of many. They chose not to live with either of their children, even though both of them lived and worked in Washington, D.C. Elvira and Dave's. The perspective on aging has consistently emphasized the importance of independence. It was believed that once children married, they ought to establish their own households and cultivate their own lives, liberated from the expectations of residing with their parents. This viewpoint was shaped by Elvira's personal journey as a daughter-in-law, having navigated the complexities of cohabiting with her in-laws for years. She recognized the difficulties that arise from blending diverse lifestyles and personalities. When Dave and I tied the knot, we cherished our own space, and I hold the conviction that this should be the norm for others as well. Elvira explained that living together for extended periods often leads to conflict, as different generations hold varying values and routines. With this perspective, she and Dave gently encouraged their children, Max and Olivia, to establish their own homes after marriage. They firmly believed that their children would thrive better by creating their own environments, free from the complications of multigenerational living. However, life didn't always unfold as expected. 3 years ago, when Max married Sarah, they found themselves in a challenging financial situation. They had managed to save some money, but it wasn't sufficient to buy a home immediately. Confronted with few choices, Max approached his parents, seeking temporary accommodation for himself and Sarah until they could stabilize their circumstances. Elvira, while empathetic, established a clear boundary. She consented to their stay but limited it to 3 months. "It's not about being harsh," Elvira explained. "It's about considering your future. You need to gain independence, and spending too much time together under one roof will only lead to unnecessary tensions." After 3 months, Max, Sarah faced the decision of purchasing a home or securing a rental that aligned with their values. Elvira and Dave prioritized teaching their children the significance of independence, even in tough times. Today, Max resides just 10 minutes away, allowing for a convenient daily commute, while their daughter Olivia has chosen an apartment right next to Elvira and Dave's home. Every weekend, the entire family gathers at Elvira and Dave's for meals, laughter, and treasured moments together. It's a harmonious and satisfying arrangement where everyone appreciates their own space yet remains deeply connected when asked whether they would ever consider moving in with their children as they aged. Elvira and Dave confidently responded, "We plan to sell this house. It's a 4-story home, and we're getting to an age where we need something simpler to manage. Half of the proceeds from the sale will go toward buying a smaller apartment, and the rest will be saved for our retirement. If we ever need help, we'll hire someone or consider moving into a senior community. We don't want to depend on our children." This approach is not unique to Elvira and Dave. Vra's close friend Sarah has made a similar decision to live independently. Despite her 2 grown children, both married and living in the city, urging her to move in with them, Sarah remains firm in her choice to stay in her rural home. "I enjoy living in the countryside," Sarah says. "I have a community of friends, and the freedom here is precious to me. In the city, life is all about rushing, doors opening and closing, people coming and going with little interaction. When I visit my children in the city, I see how robotic it all feels. Their lives have transformed. They depart in the morning, return late, and spend their evenings ensconced behind screens. There's a lack of connection, no genuine conversation. I would prefer to maintain my village life, where I can socialize, relish nature, and experience a sense of peace." Sarah continues, stating that if she falls ill, she knows her children won't be able to provide the kind of care she requires around the clock. That's why she has already arranged for a caregiver, someone she can hire to assist with daily tasks. Her children can visit when they are able, but she doesn't want them to feel obligated to be her primary support. "Caregivers, this is the life I've embraced, and it suits me well." These narratives illustrate a broader transformation in how older generations navigate their later years. More seniors are opting for independence or proximity without cohabiting with their children. The conventional model of multigenerational households is gradually giving way to a lifestyle that emphasizes autonomy and self-sufficiency. Elvira, Sarah, and many others have consciously decided to retain authority over their lives as they grow older, even as they provide support to their families when necessary. These parents have embraced the notion of aging independently from their children, establishing a clear understanding of how they wish their later years to progress. By the time their children begin their own families, Elvira and her husband have already accepted that independence is essential. They have discovered ways to remain socially engaged, travel, and participate in activities that bring them fulfillment, all while keeping the option of exploring senior communities open for the future. When the time arrives, they hold a strong conviction that living autonomously, whether in a cozy abode or a senior community, guarantees not just an enhanced quality of life for themselves but also a more harmonious experience for all parties involved. In a poignant narrative, embracing life as a senior in a nursing home after the loss of her husband, Rhea made a courageous choice that took her children by surprise. She sold her house and utilized her pension to transition into a private nursing home. This choice, emblematic of Rhea's independence, left her children in a state of shock. Thought it was not only unusual but somewhat shameful for their mother to choose a nursing home when they were perfectly capable of caring for her. They feared it might reflect poorly on them, as though they were neglecting their duty to provide for their mother in her later years. However, she explained her reasoning with calm conviction. "I've lived my life," she told her children, "and now I want to live it the way that makes sense for me." She knew that her lifestyle no longer aligned with the fast-paced. The lives of her children and grandchildren were filled with busy schedules, often leaving them away from home. Living together would only lead to inconveniences for both generations. Rhea found herself spending long days alone in an empty house, with no neighbors her age to connect with in her suburban apartment complex. However, at the nursing home, she discovered a community of individuals in similar stages of life. Meals were provided, social activities were organized, and she could visit with her children whenever she wished. The community environment offered her a sense of belonging. The freedom to live her life without the added stress of being a burden to her family enabled her to maintain her independence while remaining close to her loved ones. This arrangement not only allowed her to thrive but also reassured her children, knowing she was in a place where she could be well taken care of both physically and emotionally. Initially, her children grappled with guilt, questioning whether they should have done more to keep her with them. However, over time, their concerns faded as they witnessed how much happier and healthier she became in the nursing home. They visited her often and were relieved to see her socializing and enjoying herself. During the holidays, she would spend a few weeks with them, but she always returned to the comfort of her new home. She even shared her positive experiences with friends who still lived with their children, encouraging them to consider this living arrangement as a viable option. She found joy in a community of peers and felt that her life had become richer because of it. Similarly, Mr. James, whom we'll call Mr. S.A., faced a tough choice when he decided to move into a nursing home after grappling with his challenges. Having lost his wife several years prior, he had intended to remain in his rural home. However, his children, worried about his health and well-being, encouraged him to relocate to the city to live with them. Though he agreed reluctantly, after nearly 2 years, he started to feel trapped in a golden cage. The city buzzed with life, yet he felt isolated and lonely in the apartment, spending most of his time in front of the television flickered in the background, a constant presence in his life. His children, though well-meaning, were preoccupied with their own pursuits, leaving him feeling isolated. Once immersed in the vibrant energy of a bustling city, he now grappled with a profound sense of disconnection. Battling Parkinson's disease, he stumbled upon a program about nursing homes, sparking a curiosity that led him to explore the options available. After delving into the possibilities, he recognized that a nursing home could provide the care and companionship he so desperately sought. Seeking companionship and the opportunity to connect with others facing similar circumstances, he approached his children with a request to experience life in a nursing home for a few months. Initially, they were reluctant, but eventually, they consented. To everyone's astonishment, Mr. S.A.'s health began to improve. He flourished among the other residents and benefited from the daily care that made independent living more feasible. After several months, Mr. S.A. chose to make the nursing home his permanent residence, drawing on his military background. The pension was sufficient to cover expenses, and his children, though initially uncertain about their choice, ultimately felt a sense of relief witnessing his contentment. He was well cared for and free from the burdens of independent living. They could visit him at their convenience, and the knowledge of his happiness in this new setting brought peace to the entire family. In the past, placing a parent in a nursing home was often viewed as a betrayal of family values, a sign of neglect or abandonment. However, this viewpoint is gradually evolving. An increasing number of seniors are opting for nursing homes for various reasons. Some seek companionship and the social engagement that a community offers, while others find themselves in need of care that their busy children cannot provide. Additionally, some desire a serene and comfortable environment to relish their later years. Ultimately, what matters most is that these individuals are taking charge of their choices, allowing them to embrace joy and fulfillment in this stage of life. Choosing the right place to spend one's later years is a significant decision. A deeply personal choice. There is no one-size-fits-all solution. Each family situation is unique, and what works for one person may not be right for another. The key is to ensure that the choice made aligns with what brings peace and fulfillment to the individual. Whether they choose to live with their children, independently, or in a nursing home, the ultimate goal is to maintain joy, health, and dignity. It's important to remember that aging is not about depending on others, but about finding satisfaction and contentment in each day. Whether in the comfort of home surrounded by family or within a circle of friends, the paramount aspect is ensuring that every elderly individual can embrace the life they wish to lead. Have you ever contemplated how you would navigate life if your partner were to pass away first? Life's unpredictability can leave one reeling, and the absence of a beloved companion often feels like a seismic shift. The weight of grief can be suffocating, leading to feelings of emptiness and lack of purpose. Yet, what if, rather than merely enduring this loss, there existed pathways to flourish in the aftermath of such a deep emotional upheaval? In this narrative, we delve into the uplifting journeys of three individuals who have endured the profound sorrow of losing their spouses, emerging from the experience with greater strength, wisdom, and hope. They will impart the lessons they've gleaned throughout their journeys, providing meaningful insights on how to rediscover hope, independence, and happiness even in the wake of the most profound losses. Misaki, a 69-year-old woman, reflects on the unpredictability of life, noting that one can never truly know how long a loved one will remain by their side. She likens life to a train journey, where each person can only accompany you for a portion of the ride. Of the ride when they have to get off, cherish the beautiful moments shared together. If someone walks alongside you for the entire journey, that's an even greater blessing. Yet, not all love endures forever. Sometimes illness or unforeseen events can separate two people prematurely. If you're still watching this video and find these lessons valuable, please comment below to let me know you're still with me. When a spouse passes away, the home can feel suddenly empty, as if life has lost its anchor. The routines that once brought comfort. Once, life felt stable, dinner conversations, shared chores, and quiet evenings together. Now, they vanish, leaving behind an immense void. It's easy to feel lost, questioning how to move forward. But the truth is, no matter how painful it may be, time moves on. The person who has passed will not come back, and life must continue. This brings us to the story of Callista, whose journey from despair to hope is a testament to resilience. At 67, she lost her husband, her partner of over 4 decades. After his passing, Callista found herself at a crossroads, unsure how to proceed. To move forward after my husband passed away at 64, I thought I would never find my way again. Callista reflected that for weeks, she felt like she was just walking through life without purpose. She often contemplated following him. The bed seemed so empty without him, and every night she cried herself to sleep, staring at the space where he once lay. It was hard to accept that he was gone, but Callista eventually found clarity amid her grief. She would look at their old photos, and though sadness washed over her, she also remembered how much they had shared. She realized that he wouldn't want me to lose myself in sorrow. I needed to carry on for both of us. I had to push through the sadness, living well for him and for myself, finding solace in the belief that he, in another realm, would also be at peace. Callista's words impart a vital lesson. While grief is unavoidable, it is essential to discover a path forward. The divide between life and death stands as one of the most poignant elements of the human experience, yet those who remain must continue their journey, regardless of how joyful the past was or how profoundly we feel the loss. In moments of sorrow, we must not allow the past to shape our future. The present's beauty and the promise of tomorrow should be our guiding lights. When confronted with the loss of a spouse, self-care, both physical and mental, is paramount. Don't allow the weight of grief to consume you. Callista suggests allowing yourself the necessary time to heal, to nourish your body, to stroll through the park, and to find joy in the little things. It's natural to feel sadness, yet it's equally vital to continue progressing. Embrace solitude with elegance, tending to your mind and spirit as one would care for a fragile bloom, and always remember. Even in the face of profound loss, there remains a life to embrace. The experience of losing a spouse stands as one of the most formidable challenges one can encounter. Callista's narrative illustrates that such anguish transcends individual circumstances. Grief recognizes no limits. Regardless of age, gender, or background, the heartache of losing a cherished one is a collective journey. By recognizing this common sorrow, we can derive solace from the understanding that we are not isolated in our pain. Yet, Callista's journey extends beyond mere grief. Her tale also underscores the remarkable strength of resilience that life demands of us. Curveballs may come our way, and some might even threaten to break us, yet the resilience of the human spirit is truly extraordinary. Callista discovered a renewed sense of purpose in her life, and this became her message to those around her. While the pain may linger, it is possible to thrive once more. Life continues to offer immense potential for joy and meaning. A crucial aspect of Callista's journey to recovery was her commitment to self-care and mental well-being. During the most challenging times of her grief, she prioritized her health, both physically and emotionally. I started small, she reflected. Focusing on simple pleasures such as preparing a meal for myself, joining a book club, or enjoying long walks. My friends supported me, and I learned to rely on them. Over time, I found joy in my own life again. Memories were also crucial in Callista's healing journey. She frequently revisited the photos and keepsakes her husband had left behind. These memories, though tinged with sadness, helped her maintain his presence in her heart while still allowing her to move forward. I honored his memory by treasuring the beautiful moments we shared allowed me to pay tribute to him without being trapped in memories. Ultimately, Callista's journey highlights the significance of embracing the present. While mourning is a natural response, it is equally vital to seek happiness in the now. She articulated that one cannot dwell in the past indefinitely, the future is filled with potential, and life remains valuable. Callista's narrative serves as a profound reminder that, despite the sorrow of losing a partner, it is feasible to find renewed purpose and joy. The road ahead may be challenging, but with self-care support and an open heart, healing and embracing the future becomes possible. This journey reveals lessons in resilience, showcasing the strength of the human spirit and the transformative power of self-compassion. The resilience inherent in our spirit imparts invaluable insights about self-care, the healing nature of memories, and the delicate balance between past pain and future hope. These themes are poignantly illustrated in Lara's story. Over time, Lara began to recognize that her relationship with her daughter and son-in-law was not as she had envisioned. Imagine though initially they offered support and comfort, living together under the same roof soon generated tension and misunderstandings. Lara began to sense a growing coldness from her daughter, who despite her good intentions seemed increasingly impatient with her presence and the dependence that came with living together. At first Lara thought that moving in with her daughter would be the solution to her loneliness, and a way to receive the support she needed as she aged, but as the years passed she realized that living with her daughter was not bringing her the peace and happiness she had anticipated. Instead of feeling cared for and supported, Lara felt displaced and often indebted. She found herself unable to contribute financially as she had before, and the feeling of dependence weighed heavily on her. The situation reached a point where the tension between her and her daughter became unbearable, leaving Lara feeling more isolated than ever. That's when Lara decided it was time for a change. The thought of living alone was daunting, but Lara knew she needed to regain her. At 65, she made the brave decision to embrace life on her own. This choice was more than just about solitude, it was a profound journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Lara realized that while companionship holds its worth, genuine tranquility stems from the ability to coexist peacefully with oneself. In her solitude, she unearthed strength and freedom, mastering the art of self-care and breaking free from the need for others to define her happiness. Now, in her own space, Lara relishes the serene joy of independence, having rediscovered her essence. Lara discovered her passions and embraced the solitude that once felt intimidating. Living alone doesn't equate to being alone in spirit, rather, it signifies finding peace, purpose, and fulfillment within herself. She has shed the weight of living according to others' expectations or standards. Lara's story serves as a powerful reminder of the significance of independence, self-acceptance, and the freedom to live life on one's own terms. Her journey also imparts a profound lesson for anyone encountering similar challenges in their later years. When older parents move in with their adult children, differences in values, child-rearing practices, and financial expectations can lead to conflicts that strain relationships. Lara's experience illustrates how these tensions can erode family bonds, resulting in discomfort and disconnection. What initially appeared to be a solution to her loneliness transformed into a source of frustration. Lara came to understand that her need for independence and dignity outweighed the desire to avoid conflict. In her situation, independence was essential for preserving her dignity. Emotional well-being while living under her daughter's roof had made her feel like a burden, ultimately hurting her self-esteem. By choosing to live on her own, Lara was able to regain control of her life and preserve her sense of autonomy. This decision allowed her to protect her emotional well-being and retain the self-respect that living independently provides. One of the most significant aspects of aging is the opportunity to embrace solitude. Although at first Lara felt lonely and uncertain, she soon discovered that solitude can be a gift. It provided her with the time and space to rediscover her passions, such as calligraphy and painting. She joined local community groups, expanding her social circle and finding joy in new experiences instead of relying on others for her happiness. Lara learned to cultivate fulfillment within herself. Her story also highlights the importance of freedom in retirement. After decades of dedicating herself to family and responsibilities, she finally had the chance to live the life she had always desired, one without pressures, where she could truly be herself. Embraced her passions and the serenity that accompanied her independent lifestyle, this feeling of liberation invigorated Lara, allowing her to flourish in her newfound self-sufficiency. In a similar vein, Mrs. Fawn's narrative imparts a significant lesson for individuals contemplating new connections in their later stages of life. At 62, Mrs. Fawn believed she had discovered solace and companionship following the loss of her first husband. The prospect of a new relationship appeared hopeful, and she was enthusiastic about escaping the solitude that had lingered for years. Yet, as the relationship unfolded, Progressed tensions began to emerge as what seemed like a solution to her pain soon transformed into an unexpected challenge. Mrs. Fawn discovered that the reality of cohabiting with her new partner introduced more complications than she had foreseen. Differences in lifestyle, unspoken expectations, and unresolved issues from her past forged a rift between them. Instead of the tranquility she had envisioned, Mrs. Fawn realized that her insecurities and fears of rejection were only magnified in her new relationship. Her narrative presents an important lesson for individuals contemplating remarriage or new relationships later in life. While the desire for companionship is both natural and healthy, it is crucial to approach these new connections with a sense of awareness and caution. Relationships in later years can present unexpected challenges, and issues like disagreements and unmet expectations may be intensified at a stage where one has already faced significant loss. Mrs. Fawn's experience underscores the value of self-reflection beforehand. After her divorce, she embarked on a new partnership, realizing that while companionship holds significance, it is vital to prioritize healing. She understood the importance of recognizing her desires and finding contentment within herself before inviting someone else into her life. Rather than hastily entering a new relationship, she dedicated time to reconnect with herself and rediscover what genuinely brought her joy. This thoughtful approach enabled her to sidestep emotional pitfalls that might have obstructed her growth and happiness. If you find these lessons useful while watching this video, please comment 3 below to let me know you're still with me. Her story serves as a reminder that relationships can enrich our lives, but they should never compromise our well-being or self-worth. The final years of life can be an opportunity to focus on personal growth, self-care, and the freedom to live on one's own terms, just as Lara did. Through her experience, Mrs. Fawn learned an invaluable lesson about the significance of personal independence and emotional growth in attaining happiness. In her later years, she came to understand that instead of hastily pursuing a new relationship, it was essential to take the time to explore her own desires, mend the scars of her past, and cultivate a sense of fulfillment within herself. While the longing for companionship is a natural feeling, Mrs. Fawn learned that entering a relationship should not be a means of fleeing from loneliness. Rather, it should serve as a chance to elevate and enrich an already satisfying life. Reflecting on her second marriage, Mrs. Fawn noted that initially, everything appeared to be in order. But soon I began to notice that my new husband wasn't as supportive of my interests as I had hoped. He became more controlling, and the friendships I cherished started to seem less important to him. I realized that the more I tried to please him, the less I was able to take care of myself and my own needs. In the beginning, the idea of having companionship felt comforting, but over time the reality became more difficult. Mrs. Fawn's new relationship, rather than offering peace, began to feel like a trap. She realized that not only she had lost her first husband, and in her search for companionship, she sacrificed many of her desires and needs. She found herself in a relationship that no longer brought her happiness. The emotional toll was immense, and the conflicts between them escalated. At some point, I realized that I had compromised so much of myself to make the relationship work, and it had only led to more pain. The promise of a new beginning quickly turned into an emotional burden. Eventually, the relationship ended in a painful divorce. Despite the experience, Mrs. Fawn gained a profound insight today. At 62, the lesson is unmistakable. Loneliness can be challenging, yet it may be wiser to embrace it rather than hastily enter a relationship that fails to meet our genuine needs. My journey has shown me the importance of not rushing into significant choices like marriage in our later years without careful contemplation of our desires and requirements. Her story with her second marriage further illuminated the complexities of merging families as we age, particularly with her new husband, Sino. Children from a previous marriage, and when his son's marriage fell apart, they suddenly found themselves caring for his grandson. At first, Mrs. Fawn took on the role of caregiver, treating the child as her own, but over time she found herself overwhelmed. The boy was spoiled, picky with food, and prone to tantrums. She tried her best, but it felt like nothing was good enough. Eventually, she had to talk to Sino about it. She suggested that his son take the boy back, but Sino was upset and said, "You're not the mother of my grandson, so don't interfere." This comment stung. Left Mrs. Fawn feeling profoundly hurt. It was then that she understood the difficulties of gaining acceptance into a new partner's family, particularly after having lived a full life of her own. After enduring months of tension, misunderstandings, and unmet expectations, Mrs. Fawn made the tough choice to file for divorce. It was the first moment she questioned the institution of marriage. She reflected, realizing that living alone, though at times lonely, is preferable to navigating such a web of complications. The divorce, while painful, marked a significant turning point. Reflecting on her journey, Mrs. Fawn now sees her decision to embrace independence as a wise one. "I don't regret it," she shares. While living alone can bring moments of solitude, she no longer feels weighed down. Through her experiences, she has discovered that true peace and contentment arise from authenticity and prioritizing her own well-being over the expectations of others. Mrs. Fawn's narrative serves as a poignant reminder that in the later stages of life, independence and emotional development are vital components of happiness. The societal pressure to seek companionship can often overshadow this truth. In moments of loneliness, we often seek companionship or strive to cultivate a sense of family. However, the initial step should be to prioritize personal fulfillment. Embracing solitude can be one of the most rewarding choices, allowing us to reconnect with our passions and build a life brimming with meaning, independent of a partner. It's essential to grasp the challenges and risks associated with remarriage later in life, particularly for those contemplating a new relationship after the loss of a spouse. Mrs. Kelly's narrative highlights the intricate dynamics that emerge when two individuals navigate this journey together. Lives intertwine at a mature juncture, having spent years in solitude. Merging two distinct existences can awaken entrenched habits and perspectives. These variances, once easily navigated in youth, often amplify with age. For those in their later years, adjusting to a partner's way of life and anticipations can prove challenging and at times, distressing. Mrs. Kelly experienced this firsthand when she remarried in her 60s. The early thrill of companionship soon transitioned into disputes over what appeared to be straightforward aspects of daily life, such as household responsibilities and travel arrangements, initially felt like a suitable arrangement, as Mrs. Kelly noted. However, it quickly became apparent that we were clashing over unexpected issues. Our differing habits created tension, as I had spent years accustomed to my own methods, and now I was required to adapt to another's rhythm. This transition proved challenging and led to significant stress between us. Unlike younger couples, older individuals often come with a wealth of personal routines, values, and established practices, which can complicate cohabitation. As both partners are less likely to adjust quickly, even small disagreements can escalate into major sources of frustration, leading to strained communication and emotional distance. Another significant challenge Mrs. Kelly faced was the acceptance of her new partner by her family. Her children and grandchildren had already established their routines and expectations, and the arrival of a new partner disrupted that delicate balance. "It was hard for my children to accept him," she shared. "They had their ideas about what should be and his. The presence of my husband's son and grandson, who lived nearby, altered the atmosphere of our family gatherings. Their unexpected attention towards the new marriage introduced additional tension." This lack of acceptance from her partner's family fostered a challenging environment for the marriage. The subtle yet constant tension among family members can strain a relationship, making it hard for the couple to genuinely enjoy their time together. When family dynamics clash with a new union, resentment can grow even deeper. Complicating the dynamics within the family, the emotional readiness of individuals entering remarriage later in life is paramount. After the loss of a spouse, the longing for companionship and the anxiety of solitude may propel someone to seek comfort swiftly. However, Hastily entering a new relationship without adequate emotional healing can result in choices that may not serve one's best interests. Mrs. Kelly experienced this firsthand. Despite her son's advice to pause and contemplate her true needs, she forged ahead. Mrs. Kelly reflected on her hurried decision to marry, admitting that loneliness played a significant role. She felt the weight of expectations to fill the void left by her first husband, yet she lacked a clear understanding of her emotional needs. Although she believed she was prepared, she was merely seeking solace. In hindsight, she recognizes the importance of taking time to heal and contemplate her desires in a partner. Quick choices often overlook crucial warning signs, which can result in disappointment. Mrs. Kelly's swift decision to marry without a comprehensive grasp of her emotional requirements ultimately culminated in another divorce. It became evident that emotional readiness plays a crucial role in establishing a lasting relationship, particularly in later stages of life. The healing journey following a loss is essential, and allowing oneself the time to contemplate personal needs and desires can help avoid impulsive decisions that may lead to further complications down the line. Additionally, financial and legal challenges often arise in remarriages among older individuals. Matters like inheritance, healthcare choices, and asset division can introduce considerable stress, even if Mrs. Kelly's narrative does not explore these aspects. Crucial considerations arise when remarrying later in life. The blending of finances, property, and even caregiving responsibilities can create tension if not addressed carefully. Legal issues surrounding estate planning and healthcare decisions must be considered thoughtfully to avoid misunderstandings down the road. In Part 3, we explore how to live independently and safely in the golden years. As we grow older, the desire to maintain our independence and live life on our terms often remains strong. The freedom to live in our own space is essential. Making our own choices and following personal passions can be deeply rewarding. Living independently presents numerous advantages, including greater freedom, the chance to have control over our daily lives, and the ability to partake in activities that bring happiness. However, adopting this way of life necessitates thoughtful planning and preparation to guarantee safety, well-being, and lasting health. In this guide, we will delve into practical tips for older adults aiming to live autonomously and securely, with a focus on prioritizing health. Health and well-being serve as the cornerstone for a rewarding life at every stage, but their importance amplifies with age. Routine medical checkups are vital for identifying potential health concerns early and managing them effectively. Diligently monitoring medications, overseeing chronic conditions, and adhering to your healthcare provider's advice can greatly improve your overall quality of life. A well-rounded diet rich in nutritious foods is essential for sustaining energy, bolstering the immune system, and warding off illness. Engaging in regular physical activity, even in modest amounts, can significantly enhance mobility, preserve strength, and boost mental well-being. Alongside fostering a healthy lifestyle, it is crucial to take proactive measures to avert injuries. Falls rank among the primary causes of injury in older adults, making it vital to ensure your home is as safe as possible. Begin by clearing hallways and eliminating any obstacles that might lead to tripping. Additionally, installing grab bars in the bathroom, especially near the toilet and in the shower, can offer essential stability. Ensuring your home is well lit, especially at night, can significantly reduce the risk of accidents. Furthermore, fostering and nurturing social connections is essential for a fulfilling independent life. Living alone does not equate to being isolated. Rather, engaging with others is vital for a positive mindset and emotional health. Whether through joining local clubs, participating in community events, or volunteering, staying socially active combats loneliness and provides valuable interactions. Additionally, cherishing moments with friends and family is another important aspect of this social engagement. To enhance your life and experience a sense of support, having a social network offers not just companionship but also a safety net during emergencies. In today's digital age, technology serves as a valuable resource for maintaining connections. Staying in touch with loved ones through phone calls, video chats, or social media can help close the distance when in-person visits aren't feasible. Furthermore, utilizing the internet to stay updated on current events, local services, and health resources keeps you connected and engaged with the world around you. As we age, the importance of managing finances grows, especially when living independently. A solid financial plan is essential for maintaining independence and alleviating financial stress. Begin by crafting a realistic budget that accounts for daily expenses, medical costs, and potential future needs. Saving for emergencies is crucial, as unexpected costs, like health issues or home repairs, can emerge. Consider establishing an emergency fund to address these situations without concern. It's prudent to consider long-term care options if you intend to remain at home in the coming years. Long-term care insurance can offer reassurance should you need support later in life. Consistently evaluating your finances and modifying your budget as needed will keep you aligned with your goals and guarantee you have the necessary resources for what lies ahead. Prioritizing home safety is essential. If you're still engaged with this video and find these insights valuable, please comment below to let me know you're still with me in fostering a secure home environment. It is essential for independent living to begin by installing smoke detectors on every floor and ensuring a fire extinguisher is within reach. An emergency kit containing essentials like first aid supplies, a flashlight, and a phone charger should be readily accessible for emergencies. Regular maintenance of your home is important to prevent potential hazards. Check for broken stairs, loose railings, and faulty wiring, making repairs as necessary. Keeping your living space well maintained contributes to a safe and comfortable environment. If you're concerned about accessibility, consider making changes to your home that will allow you to move freely and safely. Adding ramps or widening doorways to accommodate mobility aids like wheelchairs or walkers is an excellent way to enhance your living space. A medical alert system can also provide added security, giving you peace of mind that help is just a button press away, whether it's for a fall or a health jank. Embracing technology for convenience and safety. Advancements in technology can make independent living. Smart home devices, including thermostats, lighting controls, and security cameras, offer a simpler, safer, and more convenient way to manage your home through your smartphone. With voice-controlled devices like Amazon Alexa or Google Assistant, you can effortlessly control music, set reminders, and make phone calls using just your voice. Telehealth services also provide an excellent resource for independent living, allowing you to consult with doctors, schedule appointments, and monitor chronic conditions from the comfort of your home. The comfort of your home minimizes the necessity for in-person visits, allowing you to take charge of your health care. However, it's crucial to remain vigilant against scams, particularly online. Always verify that any technology you utilize is safe and secure. Maintaining a positive outlook is perhaps one of the most vital elements of living independently. Aging presents its challenges, but concentrating on what you can still achieve rather than what you cannot is key to flourishing in later life. Surround yourself with positivity. Engage in activities that bring you joy, whether it's gardening, reading, painting, or walking in nature. Pursue hobbies that make you feel fulfilled and connected to the world. Embrace the beauty of aging by accepting your journey and taking pride in the life you've lived. Independence doesn't mean living without support, it means living on your terms with confidence, dignity, and a sense of purpose. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of the challenges and joys of aging with independence. We've covered a lot. Today, as you focus on your health and well-being, consider the importance of balancing companionship with personal growth. From practical tips on home safety and financial planning to insights gained from various experiences, we aim to empower you to take charge of your golden years. I would love to hear from you. What lessons have you gathered so far? What is one takeaway from today's video that you are eager to implement in your life? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Your input is genuinely appreciated and welcomed. If you enjoyed this video, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support enables us to produce more content that inspires you to live your best life, regardless of your age. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.